In a small town nestled between towering mountains and thick, dark forests, there existed a legend whispered among the elders. A tale of beings from the 10th dimension. Creatures that existed beyond the veil of human comprehension. They were said to be formless, shifting shadows that craved the essence of life, feeding on fear and despair. Many dismissed the stories as mere folklore, but for those who dared to listen, the warnings were clear. Never seek what lies beyond. Dr. Elena Marquez, a brilliant but ambitious physicist, had devoted her life to the study of dimensions beyond the known four. Her obsession grew after discovering an ancient manuscript hidden in the archives of her university, detailing the existence of the 10th dimension. The manuscript hinted at a gateway, an unstable rift in reality that could be opened using a device she had been building in secrecy. One fateful evening, after years of relentless work, Elena finally activated her device in the basement of her lab. The air crackled with energy as a swirling portal materialized before her, shimmering with colors that defied description. Heart pounding with excitement and dread, she peered into the abyss, her mind racing with the possibilities. Just a glimpse, she whispered to herself. I must see what's out there. As she reached out, a cold wind whipped through the room, extinguishing the lights and plunging her into darkness. The portal pulsed ominously, and from the depths, she heard a low, haunting hum, a chorus of voices that seemed to beckon her closer. Ignoring the growing sense of dread, she took a step toward the rift. Suddenly, shadowy tendrils erupted from the portal, wrapping around her wrist with an icy grip. Panic surged through her, but it was too late. A rush of sensations overwhelmed her, and she found herself standing in a realm beyond her wildest nightmares. The sky was a swirling mass of colors, and the ground was a liquid surface that rippled beneath her feet. Before her, shapes began to emerge, amorphous figures that shifted and twisted, their forms both beautiful and horrific. They moved with a grace that defied the laws of physics, their eyes glimmering with an intelligence that sent shivers down her spine. Elena felt a pull toward them, an insatiable curiosity, mingled with an instinctual fear. The beings began to communicate, their thoughts penetrating her mind like a whispering wind. Asterisk. We are the architects of dreams and nightmares. They conveyed, their voices a symphony of echoing tones. We've watched your world, your fears and desires, and we hunger for understanding. Join us. Elena tried to resist, but their presence was intoxicating. She felt her consciousness expand, merging with the dimensions they inhabited. Visions flooded her mind, horrors and wonders beyond comprehension, the dark corners of reality she had never dared to explore. But as the moments stretched on, the beauty faded, revealing a chilling truth. The beings were not benevolent. They were predators, feeding on the essence of those who dared to wander too close. The more she connected with them, the more she realized they were siphoning her very soul, leaving behind a hollow vessel. Desperation clawed at her as she fought to regain control, but the rift was destabilizing. The portal began to close, and the beings grew agitated, their forms shifting into grotesque shapes of rage and hunger. They screamed in unison, a sound that reverberated through her skull, promising torment if she dared to escape. With a surge of willpower, Elena broke free from their grasp, her body plummeting back toward the rift. As she crossed the threshold, the tendrils clawed at her, trying to pull her back into the abyss. But with one final desperate push, she emerged into her lab, collapsing to the floor as the portal snapped shut behind her. Gasping for breath, she lay there, trembling. The room was silent, but a lingering presence remained. The whispers had not vanished. They echoed in her mind, taunting her with glimpses of the horror she had witnessed. She could feel their eyes upon her, watching, waiting for the day she might return. Days turned into weeks, and Elena tried to resume her life, but she was haunted by the experience. Shadows flickered in the corners of her vision, and the whispers grew louder, more insistent. She became a recluse, avoiding contact with others as paranoia consumed her. One stormy night, as thunder rumbled in the distance, she heard a knock at her door. Heart racing, she hesitated before opening it. Standing in the doorway was a figure, cloaked in darkness. A familiar voice, silky and smooth, called to her. Elena, you have returned. The being's form shimmered, and suddenly, she was back in the dimension of nightmares. The swirling colors and the haunting shapes surrounded her once more, but this time, she understood their true nature. The beings were not just curious. They were eager to claim her as part of their realm. Join us, they whispered, their voices a seductive melody that tugged at her very essence. With a scream that echoed through the void, Elena realized she could never escape. The darkness enveloped her, pulling her deeper into the 10th dimension where the beings awaited, and her last thought, a fleeting memory of the life she had once known, was swallowed by the shadows. The townsfolk would speak of her disappearance for years to come, whispering tales of the brilliant physicist who sought knowledge beyond her grasp. But those who dared to listen closely would hear the faintest echoes of her voice, warning them of the beings from the 10th dimension, those who lurked just beyond the veil, waiting for their next unwitting victim.